This is the all-new 2021 Ford Bronco. It is the real deal, and this one is the top-of-the-line two-door Wildtrak with almost every option fitted to it. It is a badass off-roader. It has a body-on-frame chassis, locking differentials, a 2-speed transfer case, and lots of terrain programs. The really good news is that you can get one of these in a manual. You won't get the 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6 like this one, but the 2.3-liter 4-cylinder turbo you get makes almost the same power, so it's not a very big problem. For the 2022 model year, Ford has made some adjustments in how you can package your Bronco, so they made it more a la carte, so you can pick individual options. And basically, it kind of favors the lesser models because for 2021, if you wanted certain features, you had to push all the way to the top-end models with like the luxury package like this one. Prices in Canada start at $41,229 for a base 2-door. 4-door models are on average about $3,000 more depending on the trim, and the top-of-the-line Wildtrak like this one starts at $58,099, while as seen here, this one is $67,000. Available trims are the base, Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, Badlands, and Wildtrak, and coming up soon, the Raptor. To be honest, I have no intention in going into every trim level and telling you what the differences are. It's like super complicated. You can just go online and configure one and you can check it out yourself. In a nutshell, the Badlands seems to be a really good value for money for like off-roaders. If you want to do Baja, you need the Wildtrak. If you need anything else, really go for the base. Like a manual two-door base, if you live in California, that's like perfect. Most versions are totally modular, so you can take apart most of the body, for whatever the reason, mostly for off-roading and, summer convertible fun. There's even an option with a panel here, like a see-through panel on the door. So like when you're driving, people can see your privates. Like imagine if you're like an old man and you have saggy balls and they can see them flapping through the window. How fun would that be? The short wheelbase is better for off-roading as it gains about 2.7 degrees in the breakover angle test, but the rest is all the same. The approach angle is up to 43.2 degrees, breakover is 29, departure is up to 37.2, ground clearance is up to 11.6 inches, and weighting is up to 33.5 inches. And I say up to for all these numbers because it really depends how you've configured your Bronco and what packages are on it. Most importantly, if you have the Sasquatch package, which is really good, you get the 35-inch all-terrain tires and the 17-inch beadlock-capable wheels. Max towing is rated at 3,500 pounds, and this two-door Wildtrak weighs just over 2 tons. The looks of the new Bronco resemble the first-generation truck from the 60s, 1966 to be precise, but driving one around honestly gives me more like a feeling of like an International Harvester's Scout Series 2, like the one that Craig Cole drove in Animal Kingdom with the surfboards in the back. I mean, it is such a cool vehicle, this thing. If you live where the weather is nice, like Southern California, this thing would be open all the time, a couple of surfboards in the back. It's like the best vehicle to drive around. Honestly, it's like undeniably cool. I'm not sure if the 4-door version would do the same thing, although if you have any interest in putting people in the back, that is the one you need to get. Also, keep in mind, there's a difference between the 2-door and the 4-door that's not very advertised. The 2-door is a 4-seater. The 4-door is a 5-seater. So keep that in mind. The 16 inches it gains for the wheelbase translate to easier access to the back via a door, more legroom, and a better trunk. Cargo capacity in this one, the 2-door, all the way up to the roof is 668 liters, which sounds crazy a lot. It's like much smaller, so cut it in half, it's probably like 300 something. The 4-door version goes all the way up to 1,008 liters, so cut that in half, it's probably around 500. The interior is rugged and well designed, combining retro and modern elements. It's very functional and practical. It has big physical buttons and large labels. There are multiple USB ports. The one on top of the dash is also weather sealed. How amazing is that? The window and mirror switches are on the center console because you can take the doors off. So you need the switches here to operate a window that's no longer here. And yeah, the mirror switch makes sense, but the window switch doesn't. But the Wrangler does the same thing. I don't know why. You get a wireless charger, a nice shifter for the 10-speed automatic with a little US flag right there, a round dial for the driving modes or GOAT modes for goes over all terrain, A nice steering wheel that's also heated when you get the Luxe package. The instrument cluster is half digital, with few nice screens that are very useful, especially for off-roading. The center display is a massive 12.3-inch in this upgraded version. The infotainment system is decent, you get nice cameras. It supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And you get a lot of buttons up here for locking the differentials or using the trail turn assist that basically uses torque vectoring to kind of give you like a little handbrake effect to make you turn like on a smaller radius. It's pretty cool. As we said, you get nice cameras, but the location of the physical cameras outside of the car are in pretty bad spots because most of the time you're going to get really dirty images. You do get a kick-ass B&O sound system, but the subwoofer in the back rattles all the time, so it kind of takes away the magic. I mean, maybe if you open it and everything is gone, maybe the rattles will be gone as well. I don't know. But as the car stands with everything on it, when you pump your beats, you hear a brrrt, brrrt, brrrt. It's kind of shitty. Also on the highway, you get a lot of wind noise at speed. So then having conversations over Bluetooth is pretty difficult. People can't hear you very well, and it's even harder for you to hear the people. The driving position can be really nice. Like, I'm perfectly positioned right here. I love it. However, when I do that, behind me, Oscar Pistorius is the only person that can sit. Yeah. It leaves absolutely no legroom. My feet are jammed under the seat. I can't even pull them up. Knee room is not that terrible, but for my feet, my poor feet, they just don't fit. Headroom is awesome, so no complaints there. The front seats support the body very well, they're very comfy, and they're heated. The rear are none of that. Also, the trunk opens sideways, and if you don't open it past a certain point, it swings back with force and just plants you to the ground. Like, honestly, you need to be careful. Under the hood, this top-of-the-line model gets the mighty 2.7-liter V6 twin-turbo EcoBoost. It makes 315 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque on regular gas. On premium, it's 330 and 415. But who cares? Just use regular. Pedal to the metal in Sport and 4A for the all-wheel drive. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour came in 6.8 seconds, which is actually pretty damn good. Honestly, the drivetrain is incredible. The engine is really powerful. It works really well with a 10-speed automatic. Would I like the manual? Yes, sure. It also gets a crawler gear, which is fantastic. I have no complaints in terms of performance. I mean, this thing is properly quick. I think their goal was to make it quicker than the Wrangler, and they absolutely did. Thankfully, it also runs on regular, so the 14.5 liters per 100 kilometers it uses on average won't hurt that much. And considering the form factor of this thing, I think it's pretty reasonable in its fuel demands. The brakes feel great and they're quite strong. You get 2-piston front floating calipers, so no fear when it comes to slowing down the truck. Handling on the road is pretty fun. Because of the short wheelbase, it really responds right away. I mean, it turns in really eagerly. It's really sporty and athletic. I mean, obviously, the grip levels are seriously compromised by these tires, but the attitude of it is really playful. I really like it. It's just so cool. It just feels like a little raised up go-kart. I mean, obviously it won't grip that much, but you know what I mean. It has a very playful attitude, and I really like it for that. Obviously, around the center, there is some vagueness because these tires, they absorb things like a sea sponge, but that really doesn't make it bad at all. If you push hard, it will slide early enough, so it will warn you when to back off, so there really are no unpleasant surprises. The high-performance off-road suspension with the Bilstein dampers works great off-road, but on the road, the ride is definitely bouncy. It is stiff, and again, the short wheelbase means you feel everything. The thing is, knowing what this vehicle is all about, I kind of look past the bounciness, and I really don't mind it at all. However, I'm really sure that in the long run, once you buy one and own one, it might become an issue. Actually, it might not. Who knows? However, the 4-door model definitely is much better because of the longer wheelbase. It has more give, and you'll feel less stuff. So if you think that the bounciness will become an issue, just get the 4-door. Another reason to do that. Off-road, well, that's where it shines. It can bash through terrain, Baja style, or do more technical trails. It's up to what you want and what you're going to do. You name the time and place, and the Bronco will be there. The GOAT modes include normal, eco, sport, slippery, mud ruts, sand, and Baja. The interesting thing is that this Wildtrak does not have the rock crawl mode, which the Badlands has. I wonder why. Overall, despite the Wrangler being better than ever nowadays, and the Defender also being here, I think the Bronco combines the best looks with ability, usability, and price. It is still very tricky to pick how to option one and which trim level to get, but once you get that right, everything is awesome, and honestly, the Bronco would also be my pick. Overall score is 8.5 out of 10, and I really wish I could try a 4-door manual one, because I think that would be the one to get. I hope you liked this video. That's pretty much it with the Bronco today. Subscribe to the channel, be well, and take care. Till next time, bye-bye.
Perfect. Perfect.